Hello, EKN Nation. This is Rob Howden, joined by David Cole as we get set to cap off our coverage of the 2025 Superkarts USA SuperNationals 28. This is the EKN Debrief, episode number 159. It is Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. David and I finally getting ourselves home, giving ourselves one day to kind of recover after a week in Las Vegas. And again, all about capping off our coverage of SuperNats 28. Today's show presented by Comet Kart Sales. History, success, family. These are the three words that describe Comet Kart Sales, one of the longest tenured karting businesses in the United States. The family-owned operation is located just outside Indianapolis and has provided karts, parts, and services for thousands of racers in their near 6 decades of business. Their brand new updated online store features everything you need, and they're continually adding new parts to their product line. Make sure you head to CometKartSales.com or call them at 317-462-3413 to be part of the Comet Kart Sales family today. All right, folks, rolling into episode 159 of the EKN Debrief. Of course, capping off our EKN trackside coverage of the Superkarts USA SuperNationals 28. November 12th to the 16th was the date of the event. Again, just past weekend out at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. David Cole, let's bring you in. First, before we jump into the weather and by the numbers. Dude, how you feeling? You busted your ass for a full week. Maybe 2 weeks before that, too.
Rob, I'm not as young as I used to be.
Oh,
I will admit that.
Finally.
I will admit that, yes. I'm on the struggle bus. I'll admit
you
it.
are.
My body is just not back to Eastern time zone, so up all night. Tried to get some sleep. Wouldn't go to sleep, so yeah.
Okay. Is there a small part of you that feels bad for ripping in on me for the last 10 years, knowing that's what you have in front of you?
No.
You should. No. I believe you should.
No, I don't regret. No
okay.
regret. No regrets.
No regrets? All right.
No
Not
regrets.
even one letter? Not even one word? All right. So means I can lean into you now hard then. You
go ahead.
Decrepit, weathered old man. You bitch.
I mean, I will match my steps to your steps. I will
that doesn't
match.
matter. Dude, I
will match the amount of.
I have a decade of steps ahead of you.
Oh, okay.
You're
okay.
You're young.
Sure. Yeah.
You're young,
right.
David.
I'm young. All right. Yeah. No, I'm young. I'm young in the eyes of Supermasters. Yes, I am.
Yeah,
young.
I feel bad about this, but I kind of feel good that you're hurting because you deserve it. Because you ripped it on me and being old. You're old, Rob. You're old.
I mean, you are old.
Yeah, but I feel fantastic. I slept so good last night.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've been able to adjust around the time change. And,
I'm a soldier.
And you went to bed early, and I
did.
So
I did.
Let's
just preface that, ladies and gentlemen. This is my most adult, mature SuperNationals of the 27 previously that I've done. I was in bed by 11 o'clock almost every night. I had great meals. I slept beautifully between 7 and 8 hours every night. I impressed myself, actually, David.
I mean, it's self-discipline, Rob. You have that. I will credit.
I don't know where it came from.
I don't. I really don't know where it came from.
Right.
Maybe that's the old age thing that's coming along. But
it's a maturity.
But yeah, I mean, on that topic, the nightlife was a lot different this year. It was definitely unique. I know it's not on the script, but yeah, like Sunday night, there's nobody down there, and
there was nobody at the Westgate Hotel bar at all.
It seemed that way almost every night, where typically you'd have 20, 30, 40, 50 people doing this or doing that, seeing them coming in and out. I think a lot of people are not staying there. I think there are other places, Airbnbs, because again, a lot of these people have been there for over a week. So, it's definitely a different nightlife. It's not what it used to be. But then again, a lot of the racers are under the age of 18. So that's part of it as well, too.
That's true.
Especially you look at Masters. We used to have over 120 Masters. Now we have 80. And a lot of these guys go and stay at different resorts because, they have money. So.
They have money. They can. All right, let's dive into this thing, folks. SCUSA SuperNationals 28, the first of 2 shows, by the way. This is part 1. We'll have part 2 done tomorrow. So we'll do 5 categories today. We're going to talk about KA a master shifter, and a micro Swift. David moving the mini Swifts off, essentially the morning sessions or whatever, and then into the afternoon.
Yeah, this is the morning groups together. Yeah.
So listen, folks, let's set the stage. Those of you who watched on Kart Chaser, the weather Wednesday through Friday, absolutely perfect. Cool, but not too cool, and not overly hot. It was actually really nice.
Shorts weather, buddy.
Yeah,
Come on,
shorts. We were in shorts.
For those going on the racetrack and working, it was shorts weather. But for those who just sat there and talked all day, yeah, you had to wear long johns.
No, I had my shorts. I think I wore my long johns and then took them off.
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon we got rain, as we know, folks. Saturday night, David deserved to be out in the rain. He was out there like all the other photographers, wrapped up in plastic.
Hey, I will say it was a warm rain. It wasn't like we were freezing out there.
That's true. Yeah,
it was just an annoyance rain, and so that was great. I would much rather have that than cold rain.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right, David. It was mid 60s or low 60s, right? It wasn't like it was in the 40s like it was back in 2013. My gosh, that was painful. We woke up Sunday morning. It was obviously cooler temperatures. We had some sprinkles here and there throughout Sunday morning, Super Sunday. Otherwise, things were good once we finally got into the opening ceremonies and the main events. So, all told, some okay weather with some rain. That listen, I'm going to say, David, probably the best we probably could have got in terms of the way the forecast was looking. It was literally looking like we were going to have rain all day Saturday and Sunday at one point. Thank goodness that pushed off.
Yeah, I feel like we kind of did luck out on the weather. Mm-hmm. It was forecasted multiple days and to only get it on Saturday, and it looked like it was threatening on Sunday. But I guess that's just kind of the way the mountains look at at certain times with clouds rolling in. You looked at the radar. I mean, the radar was like picking up. It looked like it was picking up rain. It was just clouds that were so high or so close to the radar. But yeah, we definitely got lucky in terms of the fact that it did only rain for half a day.
Dave, let's go to buy the numbers right now in this first segment of the podcast as we cap off our EKN trackside coverage of this year's Super Nats. Let's talk by the numbers. I know you wrote about it in the race report a little bit. Third biggest Super Nats on record?
That is correct. Yeah, the third largest. Sorry, I'm trying to open up my file there. 2022 was the second largest. 2013, the largest that we've had. So last year was the new third, and we surpassed that. So not quite the second largest. Again, 10 short. 586 in 2022 to 576 this year in terms of actual drivers and entries making qualifying sessions.
Same number of categories in 2022, right? Because I know, like, obviously 2013 was
actually we had
603, right? Because we had the two Rotax classes out of it.
We actually had 10 in 2000 again. So this is the largest ever with just 9 categories. Yeah. 2022 had 10 because we actually had X30 Master as well.
Oh, did we have both that year?
We had both that year, yeah. Right. If I believe Will Power was part of the X30 Master class.
Oh, he was, that's right.
Ended up getting won by Thomas Grice, the British driver on the Charles Leclerc chassis.
Good man, that's right, 100%. So again, the biggest race we've had with 9 entries, 576 in total. Massive numbers, as we know. Essentially, the sold out categories, of the single groups, micro, Swift, Master Shifter, were and K100 Master. 48 drivers in K100 Master. Again, the number is 44. That's a full field. SCUSA always goes by 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, knowing that they're usually ready for some cancellations. I think they had a couple cancellations down to 48 for Masters, 42 for Master Shifter, down from 50 last year, but still almost a full field of Master Shifters, which is flipping awesome. And then Micro Swift. Again, David, it's 44 locked and loaded. It was 45, similar to a couple years ago, but again, they oversell it. It comes back down, but those full fields, I think you mentioned it early in the week. Essentially, the beautiful thing was all the categories were sold essentially full. Right. Yeah. The ones that were double may not have been 88, but every category was going to have full main events, which was awesome.
Of course. Yeah. That's the main thing is selling out those with the not extended field. So that's good. And yeah. Masters has done well in doing that. So again, full fields in all the categories across the board, all 9 divisions. And again, I really feel like, we'll get into Mini later. I feel like that could grow even bigger probably next year.
Yeah, good. 74 drivers in KA 100 Junior, 48 in the Master category, 94 KA Senior, massive field for KA Senior, 42 in Masters, 45 in Micro Swift, all part of a 576 entry event. The third biggest in the history of the race, the largest with just the 9 categories. So there you have it. Underway with this edition of the EKN Debrief. When we come back after this break, we'll dive into the Paddock Pass. What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is Superkarts. The Sodi brand returned in full force during the 2023 season thanks to a new exclusive importer, the karting distribution led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer Superkarts is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. The Sodi Racing chassis line offers products in classes from mini karts to KZ, all based on years of development and championship seasons around the world. Sodi Racing USA has expanded its dealer network over the last year, bringing the Sodi brand to several local clubs and regional programs. Sodi USA by Velocity Racing is the official race team in the United States for the brand, hitting all the major events and series throughout the season. Visit Sodi-Racing-USA.com to learn more about the Sodi kart chassis or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sodi Racing USA network today. Sodi Kart, the world leader in the karting industry. Fast, fair, and fun. Ignite Karting offers you all of that at an affordable price. Ignite Karting utilizes the spec Margay Ignite K3 chassis with a Briggs & Stratton 206 engine and the Hoosier R80 tire. Everyone in the rookie, junior, senior, heavy, and masters classes compete on the same Ignite K3 chassis, which puts all the emphasis squarely on driver development. Additionally, Ignite Karting is accessible at the local, regional, and national level. Special events for the season include the Ignite Majors that begin with the annual trip to the Daytona International Speedway as part of the WKA Daytona Kart Week, running in both the sprint and road racing events. Those in the Midwest can enjoy the regionally based Ignite Challenge, featuring 5 iconic facilities. Local club programs have also been established in states all across the country, Idaho to Texas, Nebraska to New York, with more tracks and clubs joining the Ignite Karting program. Be part of fast, fun, and great memories with Margay Racing at an Ignite track near you. All information on Ignite events and Ignite kart packages, including dealers in your area, are available at ignitekarting.com. Get off the couch and onto the track this year. Ignite Karting. Fuel your passion. Welcome back to episode number 159 of the EKN Debrief, capping off our coverage of SuperNationals 28 out at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This is part 1. It will be 2 podcasts here. David and I not going to jam it all into one. Excuse me. We'll do 5 categories here today. Rolling in though into the Paddock Pass right now, presented by Kart CRG USA. CRG is one of the most iconic brands in karting, and we're primed and ready with new material and a never-ending focus on winning. Kart CRG USA is the North American distributor for all CRG products. Based outside of Houston, Texas, Kart CRG USA supports dealers across the continent, reaching every corner of North America. Check out the CRG KT5 for tag and shifter racing, the Black Mirror for cadet competition, and the FS4 for Briggs. Longtime CRG drivers will be happy to know that the CRG Road Rebel, the standard in quality and performance, is still available. For more information on the CRG product line, head to kartcrgusa.com. And to inquire about a North American dealer near you, please email us at info@kartcrgusa.com. All right, David, it was interesting as the kind of week went on. We kept talking. There was a couple things for you to dive into. But to be honest, there really wasn't a lot of new stuff in the Paddock Pass for you to kind of roll out with, was there?
There wasn't a lot of news happening in the paddock or around or within the industry that we haven't already kind of covered. So yeah, it was we kind of spent the time just talking and getting insight into, drivers and teams approach to the week and thoughts on the race course, obviously, and then once things got going Wednesday, kind of getting the aftermath of getting on the racetrack. So that there really wasn't much news to talk about.
Yeah, let's get things rolled in, though. One of the first things you obviously laid out first and foremost was the fact that this is the fourth time that we have had that event out at Las Vegas Motor Speedway over the years. Out at the Las Vegas Karting Center, the Rio. We've been back and forth with the Rio many times. Sam Boyd Stadium, Las Vegas Convention Center, just outside the Westgate there. But the third in a row that we've been out at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and fourth different racetrack. Obviously, this was a revision off last year's racetrack, but still something different. So we were there in 2021 on the northern part of the parking lot area that we use. We were on a different area in 2023. Came back to this section in 2024, and again a different layout this time. And that was kind of the focal point of that segment of the Paddock Pass, getting feedback from drivers. Obviously, we did the track walk on Tuesday night, and it was really positive. The drivers were talking about how fast it's going to be, how there were going to be passing opportunities. But as me and you, Rob, as we walked it, we figured, man, drivers are going to be running defensive line no matter what, right?
I knew it.
But if you do, that's certainly going to hinder you rather than help you in the long run. And that's something we saw kind of play out all week long.
Yeah, I was very surprised. Well, no. As soon as we saw the racetrack, you and I were both going, the minute guys are going to go on the defense, in the last 5 laps, everybody's going to come back in. And we were kind of foreshadowing what we were going to see on Super Sunday, because indeed it happened actually more, I think, actually in the heat races than it did in the shorter heat races when guys, were trying to defend early. In the main events, it did bring a bunch of guys back in. There were a couple of breakaways where guys got smart, worked together. But you and I had a pretty good feeling on the way that racetrack was going to race as soon as we kind of walked around it with everybody on Tuesday afternoon. One of the things, David, we'll move to the next one, is within the paddock. Partners of us at ekartingnews.com are front and center. Stilo USA and Simpson had product on display. They had IndyCar driver Kiffin Simpson come in throughout the weekend. F1 Race Academy driver Leah Block was there as well. But man, cool for us to see our first look at the new Simpson karting suits. And how about that new Stilo Carbon Zero helmet? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the new ST6 line of helmets from Stilo now coming out for the 2026 season. Obviously, the Zero, probably the lightest helmet you'll ever touch.
Oh my gosh.
They have the light version, and then another carbon, so 3 carbon helmets, and then 1 composite helmet. All the ST6 models that will be coming, that are now available coming forward for the 2026 season. So those are on display. Got to get hands on those and kind of see what they are. And you've run Stilo before, so you know kind of how they feel in terms of driver comfort and vision as well too, because that's always something that's not thought of when you do get a helmet, is the vision that you do see. So and then Simpson, they're coming back into the karting market. Been within the karting industry for decades, and now looking at a new line of suits, the Air Raid and the Air Strike. One's going to be FIA homologated. The other one is kind of just your normal, say, practice suit or rental kart suits. Or club suits. Yeah, well, you can wear it in schools of competition. You don't need to have a FI suit for really anything over here. Well,
right?
You should. You should. Again, we always stress to go as safe as you possibly can, because
here's the thing. The CIKFIA is only them putting their badge on it, paying the money to put a badge on it.
No, these are I was talking, they're manufactured differently. There is a regulation.
I need to dive into that then.
Yeah, in terms of the abrasion layers that are needed on a karting suit to be homologated for FIA. So
that sounds like a great article, because I wrote one almost 30 years ago when I worked for National Kart News. I did a full article on the whole testing procedure the modified Wiesenbeek test and all the testing stuff that goes into the abrasion resistance of a suit and the fabric that's used. So I love that. I'm going to write that down, David. Keep talking.
Yeah. So yeah, I got to see the difference. Obviously, the I forget which is which, the Air Strike or the Air Raid. I can't remember which was which off the top of my head. But yeah, you could tell the difference, obviously, because the FIA one with the more abrasive layers is going to be a little bit heavier. So obviously the other version is lighter. But again, like as you said, none of the organizations here in the U.S. give a damn about that.
Well, we don't require it, at least. Yeah,
let's be honest. They don't give a damn.
That's not you and I going a tangent about car racers showing up and racing in their Nomex car suits.
Exactly.
You know how much that just, oh my God, that just.
Yeah, so it's been tested by Jordan Musser over the last year, giving feedback, working on that. And so now they will be readily available for the 2026 season, along with a new pair of gloves as well, too.
Yeah, they got gloves. Yeah, they got the. We had a little look at the suit there with the stretch panels, the stretch areas it has. Looks like a real comfortable suit. I'm sure that we'll end up trying one of those out or sometime probably in 2026. David, the other thing, obviously, the Superkarts USA Pro Tour done, locked and loaded. Champions are there. New number 1 plates. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, again, the SuperNationals is the debut of drivers that earn the Superkarts USA Pro Tour Championships to carry the number 1 plate. Obviously, Billy Musgrave and Austin Garrison were those in the headline categories carrying the number 1 plate. So both with the number 1 next to their name, especially Billy Musgrave, obviously been trying to get a Pro Tour championship for many years and finally did so this year. And then Garrison picking up a second career championship. So the second time he's been able to carry the number 1 plate. Obviously others as well too throughout the different categories. So again, it was it's always cool to see the number 1 plates coming out.
Yeah, I remember back in the early days of Superkarts USA and their Pro Moto Tour in 2000 when Jim Early kind of rolled out the number 1 plate concept, and it was actually the top 20 back then that got the number plates, and it was something that was really, I know a lot of people, even to finish in the top 20, guys were really proud to have that. So I love them bringing it back. I think it's a cool thing. I love when you're going out there, you get a chance to put something on the side of the cart that shows what you were able to accomplish the year before. I really like that.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I like the old ways where they actually gave them the numbers. Now everybody makes their. I wish it was more branded specifically for Superkarts USA like it was in the past.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, into the next break, folks. When we get back, time to get at it. Let's start talking race reports. Let's dive into the action that we saw throughout the weekend at Las Vegas SuperNationals 28, the race report after this. There's a new hot button name in American safety equipment, Stilo USA. Every product with Stilo is focused on safety, comfort, and function. Stilo USA is happy to provide you with the proper safety apparel to keep you protected on the track, and their karting lineup is second to none. New to the product lineup is the Stilo Carbon CMR karting helmet. Designed to revolutionize your karting experience, this carbon fiber crafted helmet is among the lightest on the market, without compromising on safety. The Stilo ST5 KRT karting helmet is manufactured using a lightweight and extremely strong composite material. The KRT provides an excellent fit and comfort level due to its dual density interior foam lining, and it's equipped with a symmetrical visor that offers excellent vision and an effortless central visor locking system. The Stilo ST5 CMR standard was developed jointly by the FIA Institute and Snell Memorial Foundation to ensure safer and lighter weight helmets for younger karters. Drivers rave about the superior comfort levels, lightweight construction, and the unparalleled field of vision that is perfect for the youth helmet line. Stilo didn't stop with their helmets either. The newly developed Carbon Curva rib protector is unlike any other on the market, with a form-fitting solution to offer superior protection. The Carbon Curva 8870 version is FIA homologated and includes a chest protector. Head to StiloHelmets.com to review these products and many more to keep you safe on the track. Stilo, any competition, one helmet. Ready to step up your game? Joining the Rawlison Performance Group is the obvious choice to take your racing to the next level. Industry-leading driver development is provided by our staff of multi-time national champions, SuperNationals winners, and Team USA members. And at the same time, RPG continues to be a national-level powerhouse race team. Our goal is to help you raise your game and win races. We work with all age groups and are focused on developing those cadet and junior drivers who are ready to take the next step in their racing program. Rawlison Performance Group has set a new standard with our in-house engine program, AVP Engines, headed by Alex Vincent. AVP has become the benchmark in IAME competition. We have the largest OTK inventory that follows our race team, providing trackside parts at all the major events in North America. RPG also offers multilingual support with French, Spanish, and Portuguese-speaking staff. If you want to fight for championships or want to improve your skills and your chances to win, the answer is to call RPG at 503-260-4514. The Rawlison Performance Group. We race to win. Welcome back to the EKN Debrief, episode 159, the first of two shows that we'll have to cap off our SuperNationals coverage for 2025. My name is Rob Howden, joined by David Cole. We were trackside throughout the week. I was, of course, in the commentary box with Mike Smith and at times Xander Clemens, part of the Kart Chaser coverage. David busted his butt handling all the EKN trackside coverage by himself throughout the entire weekend. Great stuff from David. Let's kind of put all the stuff that he did race report-wise into the podcast here to give you our thoughts. Obviously, we can fill in a lot more of the gaps than just the race report that David published yesterday. The race report today brought to you by AIM Sports. From its early days, AIM Sports has tailored its innovations to provide precise insights, allowing racers to fine-tune their strategies and push their limits. Fast forward to today, and they are excited to celebrate 30 years of Micron by introducing the latest evolution in karting data loggers, the Micron 6. Designed with cutting-edge features, including 12 Hz GPS with mil-spec precision, a 6-axis inertial platform, shift lights and alarms, temperature inputs, and many more features. It's perfect for karting enthusiasts looking to enhance their game on the track. Join the AIM Sports community today and equip yourself with the Micron 6 to take your karting experience to the next level. Visit aimsports.com to learn more. AIM Sports, 30 years of Micron. All right, David, let's jump into this with KA100 Jr. If you're new, anybody's new to our podcast and our race reports here to debrief, I'll throw the headline out. David will fill things in. Of course, I did the play-by-play for this race as well, so I'll be able to help a lot with what I remember from watching the action as well. But for KA100 Jr., here's the headline. Baglin adds to World Championship with first Supernats triumph.
The KA100 junior category was certainly stacked with a lot of talent, including those from around the world, and it was led by a junior rookie, Ashton Woon, in qualifying. A 49.795 to lead the way over John Antonino, last year's top qualifier in the category. And then you had Dutch driver Dean Hugendorn, over Cole Medeiros, and Michael Magoy, former SuperNationals winner, making his return back to the USA after racing in Europe all season. So that was a fast five on Thursday, and we got into the heat racing action on Friday with 2 rounds of heat races. And unfortunately for Ashton Woon, both of his heat races on Friday were met with contact going into the opening corner.
Can we talk about that first? Because not only was it Woon, it was Medeiros as well in the open heat race.
Medeiros as well
right?
too. Yeah. In the opening one, he started on the outside of the front row, so both drivers off into the turn 1 barriers, and kind of their fault in a way, because they were the first heat race of the day of the event, and they essentially were full gas coming out of the last corner, and something we definitely saw, because after K Junior was K Master, the slower start seemed to be the less chaotic. And so any of the categories that had a slower start, less chaotic, rolling into turn 1, definitely not the way to get going. So Woon wrecking out of both heat races on Friday.
Okay, let me. I want to comment on that because I want to give Woon a little bit of props here because he was royally destroyed in both those two first. Yeah, listen, hold up.
I agree with you on that.
Let me. So yes, 100% way too fast. They roll, and again, Scusa had set a couple of cones, like essentially a start zone. These big blue cones on the left side of the track on the barriers, and you're supposed to wait to get into those before you punched off. Ashton and Cole, well, Ashton obviously set the tone. Had way too much speed coming down the straightaway, and again rolling into that corner. Then first time through, he's the first guy in there. He's got to get on the brakes. So you go to Woon for being too fast. But the simple fact is, the drivers behind everybody was pushing each other through. Woon gets literally destroyed into the corner. Medeiros gets hit so hard he can't even make the corner. He actually ends up in the pits in front of us. He had to not hit the barriers. He goes into the pit lane.
I mean, it was a smart choice.
It was a smart choice. He tried to do a spin around to get back out on track, tap the barrier, and broke a tie rod, I think, or at least bent a tie rod. The bottom, it was just, yes, Woon and Medeiros were too fast up front. Woon being the guy setting the pace, but I want to take pressure because the guys in back were pushing. It should never have happened. It was just, again, and the fact that it happened exactly the same in the second heat race, that pissed me off even more because it just I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure they gave the penalty to the guy in third inside of row 2 on both occasions, I believe, for instant responsibility. I'd have to go back and confirm that, but I wanted to throw that out there. Ashton Moon,
well, that would have been McGoy.
Yeah, Ashton Moon should have got way more. The fact that he got roughed up in both those races, I'm glad he was able to come back in the X30 junior category. But I wanted to start this off with the fact that it could have been a much different weekend for Ashton Moon. The speed that he had in qualifying, he deserved a lot better than getting literally wrecked at the start of both heat races.
Well, let me add to that.
Do it.
Superkarts USA head flagman Aaron Likens was not in attendance due to a work commitment that he was doing in Portugal. So it was a different head flagman that we've had not ever, but since 2010 or however long he's been.
Before that, I
there.
think actually 08, I think maybe was when he started.
Yeah, so I think that had a lot to do with it as well too, because again, if the head starter doesn't have a yellow flag, he's not going to wave it off.
I was going to say that, Dave, because as they came down a couple of times, I'm like, they're going to wave this off for sure, and they didn't. So my thought potentially was, I don't know, I'd have to confirm it with Aaron and whoever we have in race control. But I think sometimes they let Aaron, because Aaron's done it for so long, they give him the opportunity to wave a flag off himself, right? That he can make that call. Otherwise, the green, I think, probably would come from race control. You know what I mean?
No, it's the head flagman. I've never heard somebody off the racetrack giving them the green, especially with Aaron Likens. I mean, I think
that happens all the time.
I know in other events and other programs it may do that, but
that's a confirmation. We get a confirmation on that. Listen, they didn't wave one off all weekend long, and there was at least 5 or 6 or I would say 10 that should have got waved off.
Yeah,
guys were in positions. They were that guys were wrecking in the back.
Okay, senior X30 Pro, all rolling starts. The only ones that did really well was probably micro again because they all respect one another because they're young enough.
I'm going to throw this out there. The pace of it. You mentioned it already. Ben Cooper, right from Masters, and Jake Drew. Jake had them woed right up coming down into turn number 1. 100% he did.
Well, I mean, that's how start should be.
I agree.
In all honesty, I mean, you don't need to be going at full speed on cold tires into a fast corner like that.
Yeah.
Or at any corner like that to start a race. The better, the slower you are, the easier it is to manipulate side-by-side racing action. For sure.
Well, so I have hijacked this start.
Yeah, you did.
I wanted to speak of it. So, all right, let's get back at it. McGoy ends up winning race number 1, A versus D.
Yeah, I'll let you keep going.
Okay. McGoy and Baglin.
Let's just put it this way. McGoy was able to win all 3 of his heat races.
He was good.
Started second, or in the second row. So obviously with Woon going off in all 3 heat races, it allowed him the opportunity to get away and get up front. So he was able to win all 3 of his heat races. Noah Baglin came through for heat wins in the opening 2 rounds of heat races, and his Prema MPG teammate, Dean Hogenboom-Dorn. I don't want to say it. I don't know why I always say boom.
Well, dude,
I said that.
Listen, it's the first time you've had to say it. I said it all weekend long, so it's all good.
I've never spelled it boom. I've always said Dorn.
Hugendorn.
Yeah. And so Hugendorn was the winner in the final heat race. So Kart Republic winning all 6 heat races in KA 100 Junior, and made up the first 3 starters with McGoy, Hogendorn, and Baglin starting 1, 2, 3. Gianmatteo Rousseau and John Antonino starting 4th and 5th in the main event. Sorry. Top 2 broke away. It was McGoy and Baglin getting away from the rest of the field in the 20 lap. Yeah, 20 lap.
20 lapper. Yeah. No, 22.
22. That's
laps.
right. See, I don't know why.
22 laps for all, 20 for cadet, 22 for the other categories, 25 for pro.
That's what threw me off there.
I'll say this while you're taking a breath there. The guys up front, impressive. McGoy, Baglin, exactly what to do, right? Everybody else is doing their deal. They broke away. Like, again, textbook. We saw so many guys blocking early. Oh, my. And all the heat races and everything. These guys, chef's kiss. Absolutely perfect. They were able to get away and didn't fight each other. And you got to give it up for Baglin, I think, David. Do you not? Like, he literally stuck with his wingman, didn't move. I'm pushing you. We're going to make this a 2-driver battle. Everybody should have saw that. It was great.
Yeah, it was your standard, I'm going to be the quickest guy, so let me get behind one, and then he got behind a guy he's familiar with, McGoy. He's raced them all year. They're Kart Republic teammates. They don't exactly race for the same team now, and they didn't race for the same team here, but definitely comfortable. I think that certainly helps. And yeah, Baglin just sat there until the latter laps of the race, and then they started to kind of go back and forth for the lead. And then on the final lap, Baglin ran the outside of turn 6 and turn 7.
Such a good pass.
What's that?
Such a good pass.
It was. McGoy went defensive. Baglin went hard around the outside and just cut off McGoy's exit point to where he couldn't push out wide on the defensive line run that he was on, and that bogged his pace, and that was it. That was the winning move. Actually, it was on lap 20, so they were coming to.
It was 21, wasn't it? It was 21, wasn't it? The lap before was coming to the white flag.
Yeah, lap coming to the white flag. Yes. So
because here's the thing, Dave. When McGoy goes to the inside throughout anybody racing in that kind of double right 6 and 6, turn 6 and turn 7, as they come through, you're going to the bottom. You're expecting the guy to do the over under, but you're still likely going to be able to drag race him to turn 8, the right hand of turn 8. Baglin said, "I'm not doing over under." He just sent it to the outside, cranked on it, it bit around the outside. Man, it was, and I'm sure McGoy was like, "What is going on here?" He's trying to track out, like you said, out of turn 7 and want to use, back on power. And he probably had to check a little bit because there's Baglin on the outside of him. Turn 8.
Yeah, exactly. He did. That's because that ruined his exit speed, and that gave Baglin enough gap to go unchallenged, crossing the line first by 0.4 of a second over McGoy to claim his first ever SuperNationals victory. And
Davey had enough of a gap. Probably had a little look over his shoulder because he was able to run the race line coming through to number 10, as I recall, right? The hairpin left-hander. He didn't have to defend to the bottom because I'm pretty sure he ran the race line because he had like maybe 3 cart lengths into the corner, and McGoy wasn't even in the spot where he could flat send it to the bottom. So it was a great lap there on lap 21 for Noah.
Yeah, like I said, that ruined McGoy's momentum. Mm-hmm. He had the gap already going into turn 8. So yeah, he probably didn't even think about running defensive, just ran the normal racing line.
Yeah. McGoy did come home in second, David. John Antonino was able to come home for third, but what happened to John?
An issue in tech, engine situation that took him off the results. That promoted Dean Hugendorn to the third spot, moved Travis Pettit up to fourth, and then Luca Popescu into the top 5.
Yeah, some pretty good racing behind those leaders. That was one of the things. Obviously, you can go back and watch it on Kart Chaser, but the battle, once they realized that the leaders were gone, David, the battle for third, fourth, and fifth, as expected, heated up pretty good. There was a lot of guys going at it back and forth. It was just we did the split screen a couple times on Kart Chaser because the leaders are gone, right? And they weren't battling each other. They were literally running nose to tail, as we've already discussed. The fight for third on back, much different. Those guys were flat going at it further back in the pack. It was for third on back. It was awesome to watch.
Yeah, Noah, I'm looking at the lap time. Noah ran pretty much the same lap he ran in lap 20 of 50, which is almost a second quicker than what they did in lap 21.
Wow. Yeah, so again, as you said, Hugendorn in third, Travis Pettit up to fourth, Popescu in fifth after the disqualification in tech for John Antonino. Hard chargers, obviously, guys coming from the tail of the field. We'll talk more about that throughout this podcast and the other one, because there are drivers that struggled, may have had an issue in heat races. Those that potentially just had to come through the LCQ in some of these larger categories that were able to get big runs. Max Cristea for Kart Republic, 25th, was able to get up to 7th. 18 spots, and then Ryan Gander, the RPG Cosmic driver. David Lastra had the last transfer spot to get in, didn't have to run the LCQ, then turned it on to go up to 16th from 34th, up 18 spots. That's a big day for Ryan Gander.
Yeah, big day for sure. Yeah, again, like you said, there was a lot of good racing, a lot of competitive racing throughout this field. You look at the lap chart, just drivers all over the place, moving up, moving down. And these were the two drivers that just moved forward the entire distance.
Okay, folks, as you know, part of the thing that we do with our EKN trackside coverage for the SuperNationals is our predictions. I have no idea. I haven't even looked at mine yet. I kind of looked at a couple of guys that I know. David's obviously gone through them. David, how do we do in KA 100 Junior? Where are we lined up?
Not exactly the greatest. You were able to outscore me 4-1 in this category.
Okay.
You did have two drivers in the top 5 with Baglin and Pettit. You picked Pettit in the 4th spot correctly.
All right.
So 2 bonus points for you and 2 points for 2 drivers in the top 5. I only had Hugendorn in the top 5. That is my lone point. So that puts you up right away 4-1 to start off this contest.
Well, trust me, folks, based on our most recent history, I am not confident at all, even though I have a 4-1 lead. David normally kicks my ass. All right. First break after we started off with the race report. We get back. We will continue. KA 100 Master up next. All over the karting world, everyone knows OTK is the gold standard for quality and performance. In the United States, OTK USA is the source for all things OTK. 8 brands under the OTK USA banner are winning races and championships across the country in national programs like the Rock Cup USA Florida Winter Tour, the Challenge of the Americas, the SCUSA Pro Tour and Winter Series, the United States Pro Kart Series, and even more programs throughout the country. And OTK products are also front and center on the podium of club and regional races from coast to coast. Tony Kart, Cosmic, Esprit, EOS, and Red Speed have been joined by the Gallard, LN Racing Kart, and CS55 brands. To learn more about a specific product line or to find the OTK USA dealer near you, visit otkusa.com. Specific chassis territories are still available, so kart shops interested in adding a winning component to their product lineups can contact OTK USA directly. OTK, the gold standard of karting. Motor mounts. They keep your engine attached to your chassis, right? The answer is, they're much more important than that. Your motor mount is critical in transferring 100% of the power from your engine through to your tires and the racetrack. You need this to get on the podium each and every time you race. Odenthal Racing Products is here for you, providing the best motor mounts on the karting market today, all designed to make sure you're using all the horsepower you pay for. Odenthal Racing Products is a family-owned and operated business with decades of karting experience in providing products with unmatched quality and value for our racing community. The Pro Series mount for 2-cycle engines, which is available in 0, 5, and 8-degree inclinations, provides a rigid structure to help keep vibration to a minimum without adding too much weight to your setup. The 4-cycle Easy Set system is one of the most popular mounts for the Briggs & Stratton 206 power plant. Multiple mounting holes provide the most adjustability depending on your chassis and seat placement. To ensure a tight fit to your chassis, our ORP wedge clamps get the job done, and they feature a number of design updates to provide a lower profile and lighter weight. The clamps are available from 28mm to 32mm in both standard and Euro style sizes. And now, Odenthal has also revolutionized the karting industry with its new Easy GP camera mounting system. Designed to mount anywhere on your chassis With 1 or 2 cameras, the ORP EasyGP camera mount is your solution to capture that onboard winning moment. Head to odenthalracing.com and find a dealer near you. Odenthal Racing Products, proudly made in the USA. Back at it with our first episode, or our first part, rather, of an EKN debrief for the EKN trackside coverage of SuperNationals 28 out at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Back at it with the race report here, brought to you by AIM Sports. We're going to move into the KA100 Master category, and this really was essentially a master class all weekend long, although it got really exciting at the very end of the main event. Here's your headline for KA100 Master. Cooper joins 4-win club.
It was a full sweep for the British/Canadian Ben Cooper, coming in as the defending race winner in the KA100 Master category, and set the fast time of a 50.406 to beat out John Bonanno, Ariel Castro, Chris Wareheim making his first start, and also David Goldman making his first start. And a very interesting story for Goldman. He actually wrecked in the happy hour session, just destroying his axle. Now, it didn't quite destroy the entire cart, because they were able to get the cart rebuilt and go out and set the 5th fastest time in qualifying with the same chassis, new engine or new axle components. Amazing job by the Magic Kart USA crew to be able to do that in the very short amount of time that you do have between sessions there at the SuperNationals on Wednesday and Thursday. So
Dave, let's talk about, like, he literally, so coming out of 7 rather, he ends up just tapping the barriers heading to 8. And like you said, I don't know how the chassis wasn't absolutely destroyed, but as it hit, it literally broke the probably the wheel bearing, the cassette, split the cassette in half, like right across, and the axle was up in the air. The worst thing probably was David's ribs. Like, I think in the end, I think he broke a couple of ribs. He did everything he could to get back out on the track, and eventually withdrew from the event before the end, David. Good on him for soldiering on.
He tried to power through it on Friday, did not, and decided to sit out the rest of the event. Actually, confirming 2 broken ribs. So, yeah, tough way to show speed and be able to be in contention, and then have that situation happen.
So, as David said, Ben Cooper, we talked about it a little bit in the KA100 Juniors as he handled the starts beautifully, nice and slow coming down. Of course, he had John Bonanno aside him for the second 2 races. Bonanno actually had a pushback during qualifying, so that hurt him only for the first heat race. He was able to get his P2 starting position back for heat races 2 and 3. And then Dave Bonanno would leverage that in the second heat races, finishing second in both the heat 2 and heat 3. Ariel Castro and Chris Wareheim were second and third in the first heat race. Wareheim had the pace, though. He qualified 4th, third in all 3 heat races, David, to put himself on the outside of the front row for the main event.
Yeah, Rob, and I'm not sure if you've seen the footage. Obviously, you were probably making the call, but I don't know how Superkarts USA missed so many tram lane violations at the start of this race.
Agreed.
It began with almost the entire outside line moving to the inside.
Agreed.
Before the green flag was waved, and then the green flag was waved, and many of them were still there and not in the tram line. It's just not quite sure what happened in that situation.
I want to say, I'd like to go back, because I know there was at least 2 where I said that straight up. I'm like, there's at least 2 or 3 or 4 tramline violations. I'm not sure if I said for that one or a different one. I saw, I think Lauren Tumardan posted it to Facebook. I saw it this morning, the video of it. And it's indeed like there's probably 8 or 9 guys that have tramline violations.
We'll get to Mardan in a little bit.
All right, we will. But again, that's 100% right. I saw that and like, what the? It's
but where? Yeah. So Wareheim starting on the front row did not get the jump he wanted, as Cooper punched off at the right moment in time and jumped away to a big lead early on. Wareheim actually dropped back to, I want to say it was 5th. Over the opening lap, but eventually he worked his way back up into the second spot in just 2 laps. So by lap 3 was already into the second spot, but had a 1.5 second deficit that he needed to cut into. And he did it. And Wareheim put his head down, drove a great middle section of the race to be able to be there within the last few laps and put on a challenge to Cooper. And it was very similar to what we saw last year, where Kip Foster was the driver challenging Cooper. This time it was Wareheim, and the two teammates kind of went back and forth. Cooper actually officially led every single lap, but Wareheim did have the lead for a little bit coming to the white flag. They actually went side by side across the line, and Cooper was ahead by just a little bit. And then they just kept doing over-under moves all throughout that last lap, and Cooper just was able to keep Wareheim at bay. And at the line, it was only 52 thousandths of a second with Cooper taking a fourth career SuperNationals victory.
Yeah, David, can you imagine how much different the results would have been if they would have moved the start-finish line down about 100 yards?
Yeah,
right.
I think Wareheim had a good run.
Yeah.
I still question that too. Is why is it so close?
I don't know why it was so close. Yeah, I don't. It was.
They did that last year, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like it could be at least another 50 to 100 feet further down the straightaway, kind of middle of the straightaway, which is, kind of the one thing that you do have to kind of take in. They're trying to keep it safe. If you get all these photographers with their back to the racetrack, which is on the back side of it, it's actually away from that turn 8 area. So that could be part of it as well too. I mean, I would almost have it almost all the way down closer to turn 1, in my opinion. But again, different tracks have different scenarios and different ways that are laid out. But everybody raced this way, and unfortunately, Wareheim came up just a bit short.
Yeah, well, and for Wareheim in a couple different categories, just what it did was it effectively made low lining out of 11 or out of 10 rather work. Like you could run the low line as long as you didn't get over under, you were fine in 10 because you could essentially defend in every corner, and even if you've defended in turn number 13, the left-hand hairpin, nobody was going to be able to get you coming out of the corner. Had it not been a defense there and a little farther down the straightaway, if you defended in 13, the over-under would have come, and then you would have been able to get the pass done. So I would love to have seen it down another 100 yards. It would have changed, I think, some of the results and maybe how drivers approach the last 3 corners. But the bottom line is, as you said, Cooper comes away with a win by just 52 thousandths of a second. Chris Wareheim threw it all at him, came up just a bit short. Big runs, though. Kip Foster in 3rd position. Renato Jader David in 4th. And last lap, David, 9th to 5th for our man, Carlos Calderon. I didn't even see it happen. We were kind of calling the end. And all of a sudden, I went to kind of finish up the top 5, looking at the live timing. And there's Carlos, P5. Very cool.
Yeah, there was some incident that did happen. I was looking at Pierce Baldus got the worst of it. He was running 5th actually at the white flag, fell back all the way to 15th. So somebody got into somebody. I'm not exactly sure how it did happen.
I don't think it was on the camera either, was it?
It was not on the camera either. So again, everybody was kind of focused on the leaders. I was too while watching it trackside as well, and didn't quite get to see what happened back there. But yeah, Carlos went from 9th at the white flag all the way up to 5th as they took the checker flag.
Yeah, amazing stuff for him. Very happy for him. Obviously, Carlos, one of our good buddies, trackside. All right, so let's go into the Hard Charger Award, and this is where that Laurent Tumar-Dan moment comes in. He on the techno kart, very very quick on Wednesday and Thursday. It did not go well from after that. Issues in qualifying. He qualified well back. Kept having trouble in the heat races. David started 43rd, essentially almost at the very tail of the field, if not the very tail of the field, but was able to get himself up into the 9th spot, ends up 11th, 32 spot improvement with a tram line violation. Hence him, hey, I got a tram line violation, but why didn't everybody else get one too?
That's right? The thing, Rob. He was the only driver to get a tram line violation. And believe me, go back, look at the broadcast video, and you could probably count at least 5 to 7 drivers with a tire outside the tram line.
So how does that happen when you have to look at the video? Know. You're looking at the video.
Are they taking KA Master off?
You're getting the video to get the guy who's at the very back of the pack. He's 43rd. I have to go back. I think he make a massive, crazy, ridiculous jump out. So he was the one that. But if you're taking the time to look and penalized Mardan. How did you not see? And I want to listen. Chris Wareheim was in, right? And I don't know that the second guy was.
Oh,
and then was he
second, fourth, sixth, eighth, maybe 10th?
The guy, whoever was sixth and eighth, they were like almost halfway across when I looked at it again. Like, what the? Yeah, I don't know.
It didn't make any sense. But
I don't know how you get one guy but not everybody else.
That's my point.
No brainer.
It's and I think, Rob, and I'll say it just right now. I think that was kind of the theme throughout the paddock as the event was going on. The inconsistency of calls was kind of the vocal point for a lot of team members.
Vocal and focal.
Yeah.
Both. Here, and here's the other one. I'm going to throw it out here right now. We can talk about it tomorrow as well. Race Liberante got a penalty for scrubbing tires past the commitment cone. Go back and look at it. I think it might be it's one of the heat races maybe for Pro Shifter. They're literally scrubbing their tires into the start boxes. Like just same thing with what do you call it? Wrecked himself. Trefilov.
Yeah.
How did every one of those drivers not get a penalty for scrubbing tires? He was scrubbing his tires and hit the wall. Everyone.
I don't have an answer.
I don't either. I guess. Okay, hold on. Deep breath. All right, I've released my anxiety. Hey,
so Mardan was the quickest driver on the track, so he did get fast lap of the race. But yeah, lost the what was it, 3 seconds or 3 seconds? So only lost 2 positions. So
for
the tram.
All right, predictions.
He would have been in the top 5. Damn it, if he would have qualified better, because that's where I picked him.
Oh, there you go. So speaking of picks, with Mardan not being in there, how'd we go? You beat me 9-8. Is that what's going on here?
I still did beat you 9-8. Yes.
Bullshit.
What do you mean how?
Well, tell me. Give me what happened.
You didn't have Wareheim.
I picked Cooper to win, right?
Yep, I picked Cooper to win.
You did pick Wareheim.
I picked Wareheim. You did not. We both had Foster, Renato Jader, David.
Did either of us have him in the right spot?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
All right. So you beat me by 1 because you had Wareheim in there too.
Yep. So I can actually say thank you, Chris Wareheim.
You can.
It's been a long time since I've been in.
And I probably should have picked these pretty damn fast. So what is it for a win? Is it 5 points for a win?
It is, if you pick the winner, yes, 5 points.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And
yep.
then okay.
Second is 4 points. Third is 3.
And by the way, folks, David Cole set this up because he knows that he can beat me.
Rob, you developed this. I did not.
I think you developed it.
No.
I think I just approved it.
Yeah.
So if you're playing along at home, I'm up by 2 right now. Right? We're 12-10 right now.
Go ahead. Enjoy it while you can.
Oh God. Listen, I already know what's gonna happen. All right. We'll go to a break. We'll come back for more Dave Smack Talk after this. Established in 1999, PSL Karting has become a powerhouse within the karting industry for North America and around the world. PSL Karting is your complete source for all Burrell Art products as the North American importer, providing this top quality product through both their expansive dealer network or through the PSLkarting.com online store. Whatever you need is available 24/7 online, including safety gear, parts, components, and full karting packages. All 3 brands, Burrell Art, Ricardo Kart, and Charles Leclerc Karts, are in stock and ready to hit the track. Grab your winning chassis for any category by visiting PSLkarting.com to find your nearest dealer. PSL Karting is always looking for interest in new dealers and teams to help create new business relationships. Drivers looking to take their talents to the next level can join the Burrell Art North America race team, competing at all the major U.S. and Canadian events this season. When you're ready to win, go with PSL Karting. Let decades of experience and success lead you to the top of the podium. Join Brandon Jarsakrak Racing as your race team at the sport's major events in the United States. Brandon Jarsakrak is a 4-time United States Pro Kart Series champion, along with a multi-time Superkarts USA Pro Tour and WKA Manufacturers Cup Series race winner. Jarsakrak is ranked among one of the best from his generation to get behind the wheel of a racing kart. BJR provides full race team service and support at all USPKS, SCUSA, and Stars Championship Series events, along with trackside programs at the Trackhouse Motorplex in Mooresville, North Carolina. Partnering with Mike Doty Racing, Brandon's team of driver coaches and mechanics are passionate for the sport, providing decades of experience both on the track and working with many of today's karting standouts and current motorsport stars. Brandon Jarsacrack Racing offers a full range of services, including kart preparation, driver coaching, and race event support for both 2-cycle and 4-cycle competitors. BJR is an official LN Racing kart team with OTK USA and is an official offset sport race team. Contact them today to develop a program based around your needs. Head to BrandonJarsacrack.com to learn more. Back at it for SuperNats 28, wrapping things up with our EKN Debrief podcast. Again, all part of our EKN trackside coverage. Let's move now into KA 100 Senior. The headline, Ramos edged out for first career SuperNats victory. That doesn't make any sense. Edged out?
Go ahead. Write your own. I don't want to write it anymore.
You've written too much stuff. Ramos still wins first career SuperNationals victory despite pushback and then protest, and then
we'll just say Ramos. Hold on. Ramos wins twice for his first career SuperNationals victory. How about that?
Ramos wins, doesn't win, wins.
Wins twice.
First career SuperNats victory.
Wins
there you go.
Twice. Done.
Okay, so qualifying on pole, just so you get this right, Jacopo Martinez.
Yeah, you had it wrong. I got it right because I asked how
Xander kept saying Iacopa.
You guys got it wrong. I got it right because I asked.
You know who texted me, actually?
Who's that?
Nick Palacio texted me. He goes, tell Xander it's Jacopa.
Like Yakiman.
Yeah.
Jacopo.
But that's YA, David. This is IA.
I know.
Let's just put it this way. By the time we got to the time it mattered, Jacopa, we were pronouncing his name correctly.
Yeah, heat races is when you guys got it fine.
We got it right. All right. So 49 points.
Unfortunately for him, he didn't have very good heat races.
No doubt. He qualified on pole, though. Joe Turney second, Jake Drew, Caleb Gaffera, and Edzo Vidmontian. That was the Fast Five in qualifying on Thursday. Morning? Yeah, Thursday morning.
Yes, Thursday morning sessions. Yeah.
All right.
Give us
your lineup in the heat races, buddy.
Heat races. This is the cool thing. I love it. Anytime this happens, 6 heat races, 6 different winners.
I love that too.
Opening heat race, it was actually Diego Ramos, the Pro Tour champion, coming through. He qualified 9th overall, was able to take the win in the opening heat race. And Blake Nash qualified 6th overall, winning the B versus C heat race. Round 2, it was Jake Drew and Joe Turney showing the way to wrap up the category of Friday morning. And then Saturday morning, it was Enzo Vidmontian coming through, and then Race Liberante, who qualified 23rd overall, coming up and taking a heat race win that he desperately needed to be able to help himself out in the heat race point.
He was a beast. He was a beast in that race too.
Yeah, it was. Again, this was kind of before the rain was coming.
Yep.
So everybody, it was motivation was high to kind of get the results and get in before the rain did come down. So 6 different heat race winners obviously kind of jumbles up the grid points based on how consistent you were over the 3 rounds. Jake Drew ended up being the most consistent and earned the pole position for the main event. Joe Turney on the outside of the front row. Ramos and Martinez in row 2, and then Chase Hand starting from 5th.
All right, let's go racing. Out of the gate, Jake Drew did a good job coming down to turn number 1, was able to get away early. Davey kind of ran out a little bit because the guys, of course, behind coming into turn 1 and then coming into turn 4, the 4 or 5 guys were down the inside, low lining, too wide as expected. Drew got through cleanly and was able to get away to an early lead, but didn't really last that. I'd say it didn't last that long. It lasted for probably at least over the first quarter of the race. But finally, David, they kind of lined up behind him, started working together, and eventually Paulie Massimino would get there and get by on lap number 8.
Yeah, it was Massimino that looked quickest early on. Once he got in the second spot, he led that group quickly to the rear bumper of Jake Drew and then took over the lead on lap 8. Unfortunately for him, he went defensive because he knew I don't know what he knew, but that's what
Nobody
he
was
did.
going to work with him. Let's put it that way.
But yeah, it didn't seem like anybody was working with really anybody. And so while he went defensive, Turney was able to move himself into second and then took the lead on lap 15. Ramos followed him through to second, and then those two locked up. They actually worked together. So you saw Turney and Ramos working together. Ramos kept on the Turney's rear bumper, pushed him away, allowed it for just those two drivers to kind of settle it on the last lap.
Yeah, Ramos made a fantastic run around the outside of turn 6 and turn 7. That double apex right-hander we talked about the pass we saw earlier in the junior race as well. Able to go around the outside of Turney, was able to hold it, and then at that point, David kind of ran the defensive lines, like I said, through 10, 11, 12, and then 13, and came away with a 22 thousandths of a second victory over Turney coming out of the corner. Turney did whatever he could to get around, but just not quite enough. And Ramos coming across the line. We'll go through it. Of course, the excitement when they get him across the line. He had a pushback bumper. We're doing provisional results of the podium. People are pissed off because he's going to get a penalty anyways. In the end, I'll let you wrap that up. But yeah, coming across the line, Ramos with the win. Turney in second spot. It was a good battle at the very end.
Does it really matter? He still won.
That's it. Yeah. Got to push back. You got to push back. They protested it.
Protests.
They overturned it.
They overturn it. He's a winner. So
yeah.
Yeah, and again, I think that's something we haven't really addressed that. This is what Superkarts USA has been doing for 20. Yeah, 18? I think it was 2018 we started when we went back to the Rio.
We've gone back and forth because in the early days we did that right off the track.
But in the old days. Okay.
I'm saying like 97, 98, 99, right off the track, we're doing it, man. We came off the track, you're doing it, and then eventually at one point why did we go inside because it was raining I think we went inside because it was raining one year.
23. Okay, so 23 did it right after each race. 24, 25. I think every year at Sam Boyd we did it right after each race.
Yeah.
And then 2008, I think that's when we moved it inside.
At one point we moved it inside, then people kind of started liking it. So we started.
I think the Rio was like, hey, we have this room. You guys can use it. What do you want to use it for? And they're like, let's move the podiums there at the end of the day, kind of make it a party. That was kind of the thing too, like the voodoo party at Sunday night as well too. So kind of getting everybody together at the end of the event to do the award ceremony and then party afterwards. So I want to say 2008 would have been the first year. Maybe it was 2009. I don't quite remember. That's a good. Let me write that down.
That's it. Write it down. Add it to
podiums inside. Okay.
That's it. So bottom line is, folks, so we've been doing it outside for a number of years. Not so you do.
2018, I think we went back to doing it trackside.
It's provisional results. Whenever you come off the racetrack, you don't worry about pushback.
Well,
at one point, Scusa looked at pushbacks. Remember? They would line
I was
them
going
all
to say
up.
that's why I think it was the year Massimino actually won.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Lemke had the pushback, and so.
But I don't think back then you couldn't protest it. Well, now that you can protest it,
right?
What do you want to do? So Ramos comes off with the win, and I had somebody barking at me afterwards. Oh my God, he's going to lose the penalty. This was in a different class. He's going to lose the lead. He's going to lose the win. You got to change it. I go, no. Perfect example. Ramos. We did the podium with him. He deserved it. He ended up getting the victory. Overturned his penalty. So we got it right. Yes, it wasn't right with Turney in Pro X30, but you had to do the provisional results. So we did.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Tomorrow. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So yeah, indeed, Ramos with the win, Turney second, Paulie Massimino, David ends up in third. Lots happened. Let's put it that way. Hold on. Martin Kremers. Are you kidding me? Wow.
No.
Nowhere to be seen, and then ends up being there.
What do you mean?
Amazing.
What are you talking about? I picked him in the top 5. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but he struggled through the heat races. He was not in the fight through the heat races.
It was Rob. I will correct you on this. I will correct you on this, man.
Bring it on, Meat.
I will correct you. So Kremers qualified 38th overall. That was his problem.
Of course. Yep.
And then worked his way up to 11th, 17th, and 8th. Started 20th. For the main event, not exactly the best spot you want to be.
That's what I'm saying. Yep.
But, no, he didn't. No, sorry. I was looking at the wrong Where did he qualify? Oh, he did qualify 38th. Okay. Got that right. So yeah, just methodically worked his way forward. And by the end, again, everybody was racing hard. I think a couple of the drivers already knew they had pushback, so they were pushing even harder.
But he also took full advantage of what we talked about from the very beginning. The minute these guys started battling after Ramos and Turney pulled away, like if they lined up, there would be no chance that Kremers would have been in the top five. But no. When you put the battle with these guys all, because literally there was a lineup of 15 guys, and that you knew with his skills he was coming forward. Right?
Yeah.
Like he's going to be able to knife his way. He's going to position the cart in the right spot. He's going to do the
I predicted that.
Yes. No, you predicted him to be in the battle for the lead from the very get-go. So, yeah.
No. Predictions are where you think they will end up on Super Sunday, Rob. That is a prediction. I can see the future, Rob.
Well, so far you have not been able to see the future.
I haven't. No,
you're down 12-10.
Oh, but yeah.
So listen. So, but you know what? You should obviously you couldn't because you didn't realize that the contact Marian Kremers coming elbows up would get a penalty. He had a contact.
You know what I'm going to say?
He finished 10th.
Since it was since it was with Ruben Moya, it was probably the retaliation that they caught.
All right, you think so?
But yeah, because he was one of two drivers that got a penalty for contact with Ruben Moya.
You didn't predict that, did you, Dave?
I did not. So
Kremers finished third on the racetrack.
Third on the racetrack to 10th overall.
Yeah.
Liberante, you already kind of talked about it.
Yeah.
He actually worked his way up to 4th. But was penalized for scrubbing tires, the only driver penalized for scrubbing tires. So he ended up 9th overall. Jake Drew was 6th on the track, but he was penalized for contact with Ruben Moya, fell down to 12th on the final results. So that put Massimino into 3rd. Ruben Moya, who crossed the line 4th, crossed the line
7th.
6th.
7th?
Yeah, 6th.
Drew was 6th.
Moved him to 4th, and then promoted Chase Hand into the top 5.
Hard charger on the race was Oliver Hodgson, able to get through 41st on the grid. Did not run the LCQ. Where did he finish? 2nd, right, David, in the Pro Tour?
Correct.
So he used one of the guaranteed Super Sunday starting spots that goes for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in the Pro Tour, or the champion of the category in both the California Pro Kart Challenge or the Texas Sprint Racing Series, one of SCUSA's guaranteed Super Sunday spots they've been doing for many, many years. So Hodgson leveraging that, started 41st after the 6 drivers that came through the LCQ, up 22 spots during the race, ends up finishing in 19th. A good run for Oliver working his way forward. We would have expected, I think, him to be maybe battling for a race win or at least top 10, but issues during the weekend hindered him, put him what would have been in the LCQ.
Yeah, he qualified 14th overall, but wasn't able to get through the heat races whatsoever. So that was kind of his dismay through the SuperNationals this year. I think he was one of the I don't know if it was this category, if it was Pro X30, where he got to roll the dice and get into the main event last year. So not exactly good luck recently for him at the SuperNationals. But and also Enzo Vidmontian was fast lap of the race, a 49.594. And where did he start? He started 6th. So I think penalties kind of dropped him down there.
All right, predictions. How'd we do?
So not so good. No. Not so good, Rob. I had 2 in the top 5. You had 3. I forgot to write down who we had. So let me. Sorry about that.
I think I had. I'm going to say I probably had Turney, Hand, and Massimino.
You had
off my head.
Turney, Hand, Massimino. Yes, that is correct. Yep. And I think I had. I'm going to pull that up here. Turney and Massimino.
There you go.
I think that was it.
Neither of us picked Diego, and neither of us put Ruben in there either.
I would have got 3 if Kremers wouldn't have got that penalty.
Yeah, I understand that 100%. And did I not have Jake Drew in there as well? Oh, he finished 6th though.
Yeah, finished 6th. So just off.
There you go. Another break. We get back. Master Shifter up next. After that, we'll go Micro Swift, and we'll wrap things up for the first of two podcasts here for the SuperNationals. Winning takes top quality equipment, flawless preparation, experienced coaching, and passion. And at Team GFC, we live our passion. Developed by American karting champion Gary Carlton, the GFC chassis has become one of the newest brands to reach the top of the podium in North America. GFC has garnered victories and championships at all levels of the sport since its debut at the end of 2018. Shifter car drivers are at the front of the field in the GT14 frame, with the SS31 a consistent contender in tag and 100cc competition. Team GFC has arrive and drive packages available for all categories, including the mini and micro classes utilizing the GFC RR5 cadet chassis. These young pilots have the opportunity to be part of the Team GFC Young Driver Development Program. Learn from one of the best American karters with 28 years racing at the highest levels in the sport, offering personalized training on and off the track. Follow GFC Karting on Facebook and Instagram, or click over to gfckarting.com to learn more about joining Team GFC. GFC, live your passion. Made in the USA. It's not just a statement, it's the mission at Factory Karts of America. Led by five-time SuperNational champion Billy Musgrave, Factory Karts manufactures their frames completely in-house at the Phoenix, Arizona facility. Built and designed from the ground up specifically for the American karting market, Factory Karts brings new innovations and solutions that are long overdue. Factory Karts bring together the highest quality materials to produce high-performance, long-lasting karts that have been designed and perfected from years of development. No other karting manufacturer stands behind its product as Factory Karts does, providing a 2-year warranty on all their frames. Join the Factory Karts official race team this season, hitting the Superkarts USA Pro Tour and Pro Kart Challenge, along with the new Southwest Super Series program. Full trackside support for Factory Kart competitors is available, along with arrive and drive programs and tent space housed under our new race team hauler that debuted at SuperNationals 27. Remember when American made meant more innovative, original, stronger, faster, and just plain better? Well, American Made is back. Contact Factory Karts today to join the American Made movement. Learn more by visiting factorykarts.com or email info@factorykarts.com. Back at it with the race report segment of our EKN Debrief, number 159, the first of two for the SuperNationals 28 event out at Las Vegas this past weekend. My name is Rob Howden, joined by David Cole, working our way through here, of course, doing the race report. Then have a look at the predictions, see how we ended up shaking down with the thoughts we had coming into the race weekend. Up next, Master Shifter, the headline. Musgrave adds record-setting 6th victory at SuperNationals.
Yeah, it wasn't a perfect score. Something I think a lot of people had bets on to see Musgrave kind of sweep the action because the shocker, I think, in qualifying, this was probably one of the more surprises. Not really a surprise, but the kind of the story was Alan Shudo, the former winner of the SuperNationals back in 2002 at the Rio in 80cc junior, came away with fast time in qualifying at 44.866. Able to edge out Musgrave by just 77 thousandths of a second for the fast time. So he was the driver starting on the pole position for all 3 heat races, but that is where Musgrave kind of took over, winning both races, both opening rounds of heat races over Shudo, with former race winner Davide Fore in the 3rd position. We went into Friday. Musgrave was leading that 3rd heat race, but he actually missed shifts a couple times. This allowed Sam Kloss. How do you say his name? Cleese?
I say Clays.
Clays?
Yeah. So
like Clay, so like a Y in there? Okay.
Yeah.
So Clays, the Dutch driver, I believe he's from Holland or from the Netherlands, came through to make a pass for the lead, and Musgrave kind of settled in. So he finished second to Clays with Davide Fore in the 3rd position. Musgrave locked in the pole position for the main event with a 1-1-2 finish. Shudo, who finished outside the top 3 in all 3 heat races, still ended up second in the heat race points, with Foray in third, Musser fourth, Jordan Musser fourth, and Jonathan Vitolo starting in fifth.
Yeah, Jordan Musser didn't qualify as well as he wanted. I think 7th or 8th, if I'm not mistaken, David. So I think Musser would have liked to have had more pace there. Jonathan Vitolo impressed us out of the gate, P5 in qualifying. Had some, 3 really good heat races. So he started on the inside of row number 3 for the start of the main event. In the heat races, it was interesting because Shuto was the measure of Musgrave coming off the line. I think at least for the first 2 races, got a good jump and was able to lead out of 1. Musgrave, though, from the pole position, not surprising, always very good out of the gate. Got the whole shot, David, pulled out to the early lead, and at that point, eventually was able to get away and grab the victory.
Well, definitely contact certainly helped Musgrave despite his whole shot. It was contact between Shudo, Foray, and Musser, all trying to go for the same kind of piece of real estate in turn 1. All continued forward, but definitely it kind of hampered their pace getting that opening lap started.
David, let's throw in as well, just so people, we haven't really touched about this yet because it kind of goes into all the races. There was a barrier that was kind of full of water that kept draining out. I think there was a little wet patch on the outside of turn number 1 the entire day. Even when it dried up, there was still that wet patch on the outside that kind of caught guys out a little bit here and there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why they didn't address that. Definitely great. During opening ceremonies, this or that. Like they could have taken a 5-minute kind of thing. That's the thing too, Rob, is they kept brushing it, and I'm like, why is it not going away? So I almost feel like it was like a weeper. You know, maybe. How you've heard that with different racetracks and just having a crack, because there is a crack where that water was that runs all the way down the parking lot. So I just wonder if that was kind of like a collection underneath of water, and it just kept rising up through. I never got
a chance to go out and look at it myself. I'm sure.
But yeah, it seemed like it was a kind of combination of that and water from the barriers that collected overnight during that Saturday night rain. So, so it wasn't, the water wasn't necessarily the issue. It was just kind of all of them going for the same piece of real estate, bogging down their pace there through that opening corner, giving Musgrave a pretty solid lead early on. And then as they made their way across the line to complete the opening lap, Davide Foray had his engine seize right there on the straightaway. Luckily, the multi-time world champion caught it, didn't cause any issues, grabbed the clutch, and was able to just roll on into the pit lane with no major contact or no blocking of the racetrack or hitting barriers. So that was it. And then it was a fight for second between Musser and Shudo. Good little battle between those two guys, with Musser coming away with the position ahead of Shudo, and then Sam Clays in the 4th spot after starting P12 with a bad a bad second heat that put him back on the grid, and then Jonathan Vitolo wrapping up the top 5.
Yeah, Jonathan did a great job. Hadn't raced SuperKarts since last year's SuperNats.
Yeah,
did a lot of cycling, he told me, so he was in pretty good shape. But yeah, I think just Vitolo put in a really strong overall weekend effort to come home P5. Well deserved for him. Skitchy Barnes, an absolute disastrous run through the heat races. Issues. It pulled in early a couple of times. Started all the way back in 29th. Able to drive his way up into the 12th position, 17 spots. I had picked Skitchy as one of the guys that I thought was going to get into the top 5. I think I picked him P5. When we do go to the predictions, that's I think going to be the biggest change. Is that I picked Barnes, he didn't get in there. You picked Shudo, I did not. But kind of give us the breakdown of the predictions, David. How to go out? Yeah, you're happy. We both picked Musgrave to win.
We had, yes. So we both picked Musgrave to win. I also had Musser finishing second. So 4 bonus points for me on that one, bud.
Wow.
But I also had Shudo in the top 5. You did not. And Shudo thanked me for that earlier in the week. I'm sure he didn't want to talk to you since you negated to put him in your top 5. So that is the difference. Shudo and Musser were my big wins there. So it gave me 12 points over your measly little 7 points.
Wow. Okay. All right, folks. There you go. David's closed up a little bit. Off to a quick break. When we get back, we'll go into micro. You know his name from 20 years of winning big races and national championships. Jordan Musser is a 4-time Rotax Max national champion and has 5 SCUSA Pro Tour titles to his resume. Over the past 12 years, away from karting, he's also been busy with contract work in varying areas of engineering, motorsports, and executive leadership. All of this experience has led the industry veteran to form Musser Technical, rolling out Mustech Pro karting products this year. The first product released by Musser Technical is focused on support for the AIM Sports Smarty Cam systems. Mustech has 3 major categories of products: a bespoke camera mount, wire harness, and a battery and mount system. The Mustech camera mount comes with both weld-on or clamp-on mount styles, and both are SCUSA approved. The wire harness has an integrated push-button power-off and does not require a data hub, as the power connector for the battery is integrated, really tidying up the wiring. To complete the package, Jordan has sourced a top-quality power sports battery and mount, all housed in a metal cage that bolts to the back of your seat, out of the way. It weighs under 1 pound and will power the camera for 2.5 hours of recording. A fast charger for the battery will be available by the SuperNationals. Camera mounts for air-cooled engines are currently in the R&D phase. Head to mussertechnical.com to see the entire product line and learn more about Mustech Pro karting products. Klotz Lubricants has a long history in the sport of karting, with over 60 years of developing products for the motorsports industry. A new product introduced by Klotz combines its technology with the knowledge and experience of one of the sport's legends, Lynn Haddock. The new Haddock Special Formula 2-stroke engine oil is blended at the Klotz facility in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The blend uses a formula that Lynn developed and refined throughout years of racetrack testing. The 2-stroke engine oil is designed specifically for karting engines, using a proprietary blend of synthetic and castor-based oils. The synthetic-based oils provide wear protection at low temperatures, and the castor-based oils provide wear protection at high temperatures and high RPMs. The fluid is anodized to mitigate corrosion and deposit formation and can be mixed with either gasoline or methanol. The new Haddock Special Formula from Klotz is available now through the KlotzLube.com website and will be coming to many kart shops across the country in the near future. Klotz and the Haddock Special Formula, bringing together decades of experience to the karting industry. Welcome back to episode 159 of our EKN Debrief, the first of 2 parts of our final podcast here, our report for the SuperNationals 28, all part of our EKN trackside coverage. My name is Rob Howden, joined by David Cole. Our race report today presented by AIM Sports. Moving now into the Micro Swift category. Here's the headline: Westbrook named winner following main event.
Yeah, this one was decided after the checkered flag. Unfortunately for the competitors, we thought early on it would look like it was going to be the Zev Godshock show, with 53.672. He was able to come away with the top time in qualifying. The French driver Amin Pantolia was second on the Sodi kart. Jack Katowski third, Aiden Go in fourth, and then Lennox Lockhart rounding out the Fast Five. Godshock came away with the win in the opening heat race, with Dutch Westbrook, who qualified 10th, working up into the second spot. And then Hudson
David,
Howard.
On that one, the 2 Bennett kid, like once Godshock and Westbrook, I just want to throw this out there because that was early on. We saw those guys working together, right? They were able to get together and just in that heat race bolt away. Teammates, Bennett and Bennett.
Yeah, and then Hudson Howard coming up all the way from 15th on the grid to finish third. So that was a wild one. In the second heat race, it ended up being Lennox Lockhart picking up the race win over Jack Katowski and Aiden Go. But the big story in that one was Zev Godshock getting a DQ for an ignition button issue in tech, which was not the first time, because we saw some other drivers as well in the event get the same disqualification for that rule. So an unfortunate break for Godshock, who I think it was just finished like 5th in that race, but definitely didn't help him overall in terms of the event. Heat number 3, however, didn't help him there as well, as he got shuffled back to the 5th position as excuse me, Alvaro Medeiros ended up taking the win over Katowski and Aiden Go. So when you put the points together for all the heat races, it was Jack Katowski on the pole position alongside Aiden Go. Dutch Westbrook up to the third spot now with Dominic Nagel up into fourth with consistent results in the heat races. And then Pantoli in the fifth position.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the race was early on, it was a really good one. Everybody kind of led at a time. Katowski, Go, Hudson Howard, Dutch Westbrook all took time up front. They were over-undering each other, passes into 1, passes into 4 and 5, as we know, through turn 7. Again, anytime a driver would kind of open up to try to get a good race line, someone would fill the inside. And that was kind of the order of the day in many of the categories, David. But again, as that race rolled on, it was a 20-lapper for the cadet categories, both micro and mini. Things kind of started to play out. It stretched out a little bit. Aiden Go was a driver who kind of worked his way to the forefront there at the very end.
Yeah, with 2 laps to go, Aiden Go went to the lead and went defensive around the final couple of laps and held off the group that was definitely putting the pressure on. And as he was able to cross the line first, taking the provisional victory, took the celebrations, podium ceremony, and then afterwards was handed a 3-second position or 3-second penalty for blocking, and it was quite a questionable call. I want to say they said it was coming. It was on the final lap. It didn't look to me like it was a blocking move, more of just kind of setting up for the turn. And almost he was already past the driver that they say he blocked. That's kind of, I think it was Pantoli that was the driver that he quote unquote blocked. I wish they would put the lap here because again, is it that lap? Is another lap? But in the comments, it would be nice to know when this penalty occurred to kind of help us understand when this penalty occurred.
Yeah, for the most part, the only real blocking I saw was a lot of guys coming out of the final corner. We saw guys drive guys down to the wall, on the left side of the racetrack on the straightaway. I saw a lot of guys looking over and then making moves. Maybe coming out as turn 7 over to 8, there were guys that were kind of looking down and moving over a little bit. I don't recall seeing a block on the last lap from Aiden Go, so that kind of surprises me a little bit. But hey, it doesn't matter. In the end, it's all done. He ends up finishing 6th with that penalty. That moves Dutch Westbrook to P1 as the winner. Samuel Chivalry on the Bureau Arc goes up into 9th from P9. You mentioned Zeb Godchak, David, having the issue in that one heat race. He started 12th, was able to get himself up into the 3rd position.
Yes, he was. So Godchak 3rd, Alvaro Medeiros in 4th after starting 8th, and then Hudson Howard up from 6th to 5th in the final
Hudson
result.
had a chance to lead for a time as well, and probably could have pushed away, but a lot of those guys up front, they didn't want to work together. They were going back and forth on each other, blocking, diving, big moves. It was no one seemed to want to work together. Like I said, kind of reason why I wanted to bring up the Heat 1, Godchak and Westbrook. Those guys had it handled. The minute they got together, and it was Westbrook who just pushed and pushed, didn't leave his wingman, and was able to stretch away. That didn't happen much in the remainder of the races.
Yeah, and they didn't get together.
They didn't get together
and hook up in the main, even though they were all up front together. You look at Katowski and Chivari, both Burrell Art drivers. They didn't get connected. So overall, I thought it was good, clean racing. It just like you said, nobody got together to kind of pull away and get away.
Hard charger Thomas Pretelt, I guess, from on the Superkart, started 45th, got his way up into the 23rd position, 22 spot gain. All right, David, let's have a look at the Micro Swift predictions for you and I. How'd things shake out for this one?
Well, Rob, not too many points in this one. We both had Westbrook. So we both had Dutch in our top 5, but you had Hudson Howard also in your top 5. So that was the difference, a 2-1 score in this class. So thus far, this was our worst class that we have predicted.
I'm trying to scroll down. Like who else did you and I have in there that just didn't come to the forefront for it? What's going on?
Well, I had, let me go to it, Lennox Lockhart, who wrecked in that last lap.
Yeah, I think you're going to have that.
I had Westbrook finishing 2nd. I had Aiden Go in 3rd, so that would have been a point there. Katowski, I had fourth,
I had him.
just
Yeah,
off
I had
outside the top five.
Katowski. Yeah.
And then I had Liam Francisco, just not in the top five all weekend. I think he did finish in the top 10, though.
Yeah, one of my picks that struggled, had some issues in all the heat race was Brody Stoffel. I thought Brody would have a better, not that he'd have a better run, but he just got, I don't think he qualified that well and was in the back in the middle of the chaos throughout the majority of it.
Qualified 6th, but just had two bad heat races in the final 2 heat races.
All right, one more break, folks. When we get back, we'll wrap things up for the first of 2 Debrief podcasts to cap off our coverage of this year's SuperNationals. Made in the USA. That's exactly what you get from Precision Karting Technologies. Based in Detroit, Michigan, PKT brings over 35 years of manufacturing experience to the sport of karting. Their passion for the sport began focusing around the Kid Kart platform and has expanded every year with hundreds of products designed to put you on the podium. Precision Karting Technologies is known around North America for their successful line of axles, available in all age groups. PKT manufactures a number of engine products for Comer, IAME, Rock, Rotax, and the popular Briggs & Stratton 206. A wide variety of chassis components for the many brands in the sport are available through PKT, including hubs, pedal risers, skid plates, and other hardware for your kart. Axle straightening, chassis adjustments, engine service, and specific CNC machining projects are available through their Motor City headquarters. To learn more about the many products and services available from Precision Karting Technologies, head to pktaxles.com. Wins at the sport's biggest races, as well as championships across all levels of karting, pack the resume for NitroKart. The NitroKart brand has made its statement as the best, fastest, and most reliable cadet chassis on the North American karting market. If you want to win in cadet, both in 2-cycle and 4-cycle competition, get a NitroKart and join the team. Team NitroKart will be at all major events, trackside with Ryan Perry Motorsport, the official race team. Owner Ryan Perry and his RPM operation carries the full selection of NitroKart chassis and parts, while also providing the same driver development focus as NitroKart owner Nick Tucker. You can also join the Team NitroKart race team at all major 4-cycle races this season. Led by longtime NitroKart tuner Cody Johnson, Team NitroKart will be at all the major Cup Karts North America events with arrive and drive opportunities available for all ages. Nitro Motorsports is a true karts-to-karts driver development program that is already gaining success after launching in 2022. Victories and championships in the Trans Am Series has highlighted the team's start, along with the success in the new GR Cup by Toyota. Current and former karters can take advantage of this unique ladder system with NitroKart and Nitro Motorsports. Visit NitroKart online and find them on social media. NitroKart, race one or chase one. All right, back at it. Let's wrap things up, folks, for this edition of the Debrief. Again, the first of 2 that we'll have. Again, today's Debrief brought to you by Comet Kart Sales. Wrap things up, David. What do you got here for thoughts just to wrap up this edition?
Yeah, again, third largest SuperNationals, the largest with just 9 categories. So again, with the number of 576 entries, massive event. Again, one of the biggest in the world. Yeah,
no doubt. I see your note here, and I'm with you on this. Numerous red flags. There were a lot of incidents on the racetrack. Some of them are pretty nasty, as we know. Ty Fisher, of course, that big wreck over in turn number 8. I was in touch with he and his dad throughout the weekend. Luckily, no surgery. They got out of the they actually got out of the hospital that evening. Broke a bone in his wrist or in his forearm. So he'll be on the mend for a while. But there was a number of red flags, David. There's quite a few incidents on the racetrack. Yeah, it's going to happen occasionally with these temp circuits because you can't make a mistake. If you do, it's going to be hard impact. I hated to see so many of those red flags throughout the weekend.
Yeah, I think that was the only major injury, though, that we did have. So one driver in the pro shifter category did get knocked out, so they did take him in. But I did not hear of any major injuries, so that is a good. I think it was just a concussion. So
yeah, I checked in as well. Obviously, there was that in that mist of spray when we tried to go back racing in the Pro X30 race on on Saturday night. Lillian Scarborough flipped and was then hit when she was kind of under the car a little bit. She got hit in the helmet. I checked in with her sister, Emma Scarborough, at the track on Sunday, and she had a headache. Lillian had a headache. She was scuffed up a little bit, but was going to be fine, which made me feel good, because obviously that was a pretty nasty one too through that corner.
Yeah, pretty wild conditions. And again, that's one of the reasons why they decided to move everything to Sunday.
And we'll talk more about that tomorrow for sure. All right, let's have a look at part one of the predictions, David. Where does it all end up? Normally you kick my ass. I'm still in the hunt here after the first. I'm still in the hunt.
Hold.
What?
Historic Super Sunday. I just wanted to give some more insight.
It says more details coming in part two. I didn't figure it. All right. What do you got? Yeah. Let's wrap up. Historic Super Sunday, Dave. What else you got? We got
now 7 different winners in the KA100 junior category, which again is pretty wild. And that finish was the 3rd closest finish in class history. You look at KA100 senior, Rob, again, another different winner in that category as well. So crazy. We now have 7 different winners, and that finish, the 22 thousandths of a second, was the closest finish in class history.
Okay.
You look at KA100 Master, that's only got 4 years of history, but first ever 2-time winner now with Ben Cooper. Master Shifter, almost that was the let's see, 3rd different multi-time winner in the category. You had a driver like Darren Elliott, not quite sure who he is,
legend,
winning twice before. You got Bonner Moulton winning twice before, actually 4. Jeff Luttrell winning 3 times in that category. Jim McNeil as well too.
Now listen, was Luttrell's a Masters class, or did he win? S4.
I'm kind of looking at both, combining that a little bit, because
he was a Masters driver.
We had from 2012 to 2018, S4 was the only Masters category. So,
hey, question for you.
Yeah.
What is the closest ever finish? You keep bringing up these closest finish. What is the closest ever finish?
That was the tag senior race between Andrew Nicastro and David Serra. What it was 1,000th of a second.
Oh my God. I remember that. That's right.
Yes. I don't think we're going to get anything closer than that.
And sometimes I look back at that race and think about the way that things are officiate now. That 100% would have been a blocking penalty on Nicastro.
I don't know, because they called a blocking penalty in micro, and that didn't look like blocking.
Well, that's true. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, David. I don't know. All right, so
we do love officials. We love what they do. Yes, we just
I would not want that job.
We are trying to get more consistent results.
We're trying to understand it either too, because people keep asking us about it. We're like, it's not our call.
Yeah, it's not. Right. I mean, it could be. And then micro, again, another category with 9 different winners as well too.
Well, again, drivers normally move. Once you win micro, you normally move on to minis. So and we'll talk about that too, right? Tomorrow.
I think Matcha had a chance in 2024 to win both and didn't. Okay. So.
All right, now on to our predictions.
There you go.
Like I say, I normally get my ass kicked, but I'm in the hunt right now. David 25, Rob 24. I like it.
Only good. 4 categories left. I'm not confident. I haven't calculated it, Rob. So I'm doing it. It as I do the fly. So yeah, I'm not sure, because I'm not very confident in where obviously listen, Joe Turney is a good bet on the X30, but
I picked Turney.
We both have them, so that's tough. It's. I think you were confident about Pro Shifter, right?
Pro Shifter, I got first and second.
Yeah,
and I have Myers in there as well. So I have first, second, and Myers. So I have 3 in the show, and Sennett and Pedro correct.
Wow,
I like that. And you've got Kajak not in, Wallstein.
Yeah.
Palumba's not in, Spurgill's not in, Myers. You have 2 in. I'm going to gain on you on that one.
Yeah, I know. So that might be the winning move for you. That might be. I didn't defend as much.
X30 Junior, you got Baglin, Hugendorn, McGoy, Woon, Bradley. And where am I on Junior? I got Weiland, Baglin, Doan, Woon, Bradley. So yeah, I've got 2 in. Max didn't get in, I don't think. Doan did not, and Bradley was out. So, hey, listen, it's going to be going to be interesting, my friend. It's going to be interesting.
I mean, we've kept it close over the last couple of years. I know I blew you out a few years ago, but
you have destroyed me.
No. I think last year was close. I can go back to it while you do your next segment. How about
I'll go through the championship, the Constructors Championship, and then you look at that. So Constructors Championship, 5 wins, 5 different brands as well. Kart Republic with the victory, Cosmic with Ben Cooper, Beer Art with Ramos, Factory Kart, of course, with Billy Musgrave, Bennick with Dutch Westbrook, and who got the Kart Republic? That was the winner in
Baglin.
That was Baglin Jr. Yeah, so 5 different brands winning in our first segment here right now. Kart Republic, Cosmic, Beer Art, Factory Kart, and Bennick with the victory.
Yeah, I don't think you want me to bring up the points from the last.
Bring it up. Years. Like I said, I got destroyed last year.
69-47 overall. I beat you.
Destroyed.
58-37. I beat you in 2020.
Destroyed.
3. Yeah.
Did you do this 100% of the time? I'm doing karting. I'm doing my USF. Trying to run a business. I expect you to beat me. 25-24. We're in a hunt right now, bro. We're in a hunt.
Yeah, this is too tight. This is like,
my
as you would say, Appalachian State in Michigan, right?
That's 100%. That's going to be your Christmas gift this year.
All right.
Appalachian State football helmet. Send that
Gross.
in.
Ugh.
We will listen, because we're not doing head-to-head racing anymore. The belt goes to whoever wins this. I still have the EKN belt.
Ooh.
So whoever wins the
you're that confident you're going to win, probably. No, that's why you're putting it up there.
I'll ship it down to you.
Okay.
Let's wrap this up. And believe it or not, folks, the EKN Trackside Live race calendar up next, brought to you by Sodi Racing USA. What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is Sodikart. The Sodi brand returned in full force during the 2023 season thanks to a new exclusive importer, the karting distribution, led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer Sodikart is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. Visit Sodi-Racing-USA.com to learn more about the Sodikart chassis, or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sodi Racing USA network today. Sodikart, the world leader in the karting industry. Dave, Sodikart also a 3-time winner now of the Pro Shifter race.
Look at you pulling out this stat.
Segue. All right, so listen here, folks. Our last race of the year, at least mine and David's going. Was at the SuperNats. Now we've got over about 5 weeks, David, until you're back on the road. Superkarts USA Winter Series, and the next 2 races you'll be at. Everything being taken place down at Speed Sports Racing Park in New Caney, Texas, January 9th to the 11th for the first 2 rounds, February 13th to the 15th, rounds 3 and round 4.
50 days, Rob, till January 8th and traveling down.
Get some sleep. Get caught up on it. You need that.
50 days.
50
All
days.
right. Yeah.
All right. After that, February 20th to the 22nd, Challenge of the Americas kicks off at the K1 circuit out in Winchester, California. So essentially kind of East Coast, kind of West Coast to get things underway for 2026.
Well, Central.
Yeah.
Central. Yeah.
Texas
is not really East Coast, but
no.
Yeah. So Lone Star State and Sunshine State.
That's it. Well, there you have it, folks. That is your first of 2 podcasts for the EKN Debrief. Wrapping things up here for the Superkarts USA SuperNationals 28. Of course, coming back tomorrow with what, David? X30 Junior, Pro X30, Pro Shifter, and Mini Swift. There you go. The afternoon categories that we had on Super Sunday, or throughout the week, not Super Sunday. They all raced on Super Sunday. Any final thoughts here, or do I need to let you get back to work?
Yeah, I should probably lunch first and then back to work. Yeah,
there you go. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we know all of you at home listening to this podcast right now, pins and needles, whether or not Rob Howden can come on top of David Cole's predictions to finally get a win.
Yeah, because I don't think you ever have you?
I don't remember past two years ago, but I would like to come out as the race winner, as the winner this year. That would make me very happy. I don't know that I'd be able to live it down, to be honest with you, if I put it out there.
Hey, more power. I appreciate that, because then it means something to you, right?
I will probably have to make a graphic up to put on my Facebook page, like my primary deal.
Well, it could be your profile pic.
It could be a profile
for all
pic.
I care.
It could be. It could be just the. It could be just the. Could be the belt. Just the belt.
The belts. The belts.
All right. All right, folks. We're done for this one here. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, part 2 coming right around the corner. On behalf of David Cole, my name is Rob Howden. Bye for now.